Courtyard, insane difficulty. 4 Gears of War Judgment. 3 stars, Declassified Missions, all that good stuff. So the Declassified mission for this is there's poison gas slowly leaking out, and you have to complete the mission within 5 minutes and 20 seconds. And that is probably one of the longest time spans that you get to complete a Declassified challenge that has a time span challenge. And it is not... I'd say this is probably the most difficult one, the most difficult time challenge one. And that's mainly because, so like this first half here, pretty easy, guys. Most of the time you're going to get a long shot here. Every once in a while you'll get a one shot, which makes this infinitely easier. The first part here, the challenge is really just not getting killed by these, what are these assholes called? What was the name I created for them earlier? I don't remember. Anyway, the shield bitches. Just don't let them kill you. That's the biggest challenge. Anyway, and then after you clear this first wave of dudes, you're gonna get introduced to a new enemy type called the Ragers, I believe. They are these dudes. They're like, it's an interesting enemy type because by default, they start off as just a dude with a breach shot, I believe it's called. It's like a rifle, it's a sniper rifle without a scope on it, basically. So it does a bunch of damage, but it's hard to aim at long distances because there's no zoom on it. But if you kill those guys without getting a headshot, or without getting an execution, or an explosive kill, they transform into a much stronger melee guy that just runs right at you, and they can kill you pretty quick. The second form can kill you pretty quick. So it's not, it's important to kind of take your time and line up your headshots and be sure, or use a grenade to kill these guys, because it's not fun to have to kill these guys, the Ragers, if they're in their rage form. And actually, this part right here is probably the trickiest part of the whole thing. Getting through this door, there's going to be 2 or 3 dudes in the next room after you kill this introduction Rager, who they all have a pretty good position on you, and you can't just sprint up into there and take them out, because they'll take you out in 2 or 3 shots. And you can't just like spray wildly at them, so you need to actually get headshots. And if you take too long doing this next little part, there's one part after that, or 2 little sections after this next room. One that has a couple tickers, you can just melee them away, and then a couple more Ragers at the very end. If you take too long here, it can, I think I cut it pretty close to the end of this one, probably within 30 seconds. Maybe even closer than that. See, see. Get good with the breach shot, and just get some headshots. It shouldn't be too bad. The only thing I hate about these guys is that, like, well, on insane difficulty, it drives me nuts because a lot of times, especially with a long shot, there's a level later on where with the long shot you'll get a headshot, and like the enemies, they just don't die in one long shot. They kind of like collapse backwards, and like you knock off their helmet, even on like the non-grinders, because like the grinders, they're pretty, like, they have that huge hat on their head that like that pops off when you get them with one good headshot, and then, but even like the grubs later on, it gets pretty annoying. Oh nope, this one I've beaten plenty of time. I'm thinking of a different level. This one's not too bad. Just use your grenades here and save yourself the energy of stressing out about headshots, or do a retro lancer charge, or basically anything other than just shooting them in the body. And you shouldn't have any problems killing these dudes.
Come on, there's a lab entrance.
No getting into the lab until you've cleared security. Unless you're a grub, then you just tunnel in.